Today we explore Charles Spurgeon's sermon, The Carnal Mind Enmity Against God, preached in April 1855. This sermon confronts one of the most sobering truths in Scripture, that the natural, unregenerate mind is hostile toward God. Spurgeon draws from Romans 8, verse 7. The carnal mind is enmity against God. Spurgeon begins by reminding us of humanity's original state. Man was created upright, walking with God in Eden, second only to angels in glory. Yet, through the fall, our nature was corrupted. The carnal mind, our natural inclination without the renewing work of the Spirit, became not neutral, but actively opposed to God. Spurgeon emphasizes that this hostility is not merely resistance, but enmity itself. It is rebellion at the root of who we are outside of Christ. He explains that this enmity runs deep. It is not only the actions of men that show rebellion, but the very heart, imagination, and affections. Even in the best of men, the holiest saints, there is an awareness of how sin still clings. The conscience testifies against us, declaring we cannot claim purity on our own. Spurgeon presses us to see that the carnal mind is hostile not just to God's law, but to God himself, his essence, his holiness, and his rule. Spurgeon then unfolds the universality of this enmity. It affects every person, every class, every age. From the infant's first breath to the most brilliant philosophers, from the strongest rulers to the simplest peasants, all are touched by this enmity unless renewed by grace. He explains that even intellect, imagination, and judgment are corrupted. Our memories, our desires, even our affections are bent away from God. This makes the carnal mind not sometimes opposed to God, but always opposed. At every moment, in every state, it resists him. Spurgeon next describes the enormity of this guilt. It is not a small matter. To be at enmity with God is cosmic treason. Think of what God is, the creator, lawgiver, ruler, sustainer, and benefactor of all life. To be opposed to him is to bite the hand that feeds us, to resist the one who gives us breath. This enmity is not just ungrateful. It is monstrous rebellion against infinite love. Spurgeon paints this vividly. God clothes us, feeds us, spares our lives daily, yet man still hates him. This, he says, is the depth of sin. But here Spurgeon turns to the hope of the gospel. If we are enemies, how then can we be saved? Surely not by works, for even at our best we fall short. He insists that salvation must be by grace alone. Justification is by faith, not by the deeds of the law. The carnal mind cannot make itself a friend of God. It must be transformed by divine power. Only Christ, through his blood and sacrifice, reconciles enemies and makes them children of God. Spurgeon closes with an urgent plea. He urges his hearers to look to Jesus, the one lifted up like the serpent in the wilderness, that whoever believes might live. He presses the point. It is not about striving or improving oneself little by little, but about simply looking to Christ for salvation. Look, he says, and live. The sermon leaves us with a sobering truth and a glorious hope. The carnal mind is indeed enmity against God, but the gospel is stronger than our enmity. Through Christ, enemies become friends, rebels become sons, and those once far off are brought near. The call remains as urgent today as when Spurgeon preached it. Turn your eyes to Christ, for in him alone is peace with God. Thank you for joining us, and please like the video, subscribe, and share. God bless you all, and I hope to see you again.